My 23F sister, 36F, is embarrassed that I wear sexy and revealing clothes. Throw away because of obvious reasons. We come from a moderate Muslim family. We couldn't be more different if we tried, but we do get along despite that. Along the years, I have always known that she's always been more religious and conservative than I was. She constantly expresses her disdain for women who wear revealing clothes, even if they're something like crop tops, or essentially show just any skin in general. The conversation started pretty innocently. I told her that I found it weird that some of her friends who are in their mid-30s follow me on Instagram. Someone in their early 20s. She responded to this by saying, really? That's so embarrassing. And naturally I asked her why is that so. She told me it's because I wear sexy clothes. Mind you, I hardly show that much skin anyway, and it's pretty tame compared to what other girls my age usually wear. I told her to elaborate further, and that's when shit hit the fan. She proceeded to ask me what I was trying to prove by posting these promiscuous pictures on social media, and she's of the perception that I'm doing this to seek attention. She also nicely added that my friends didn't care, and that only she does because she's the one who bothers advising me. She also told me I was overreacting and that I shouldn't be hurt nor mad about this because it was her opinion since I asked. Felt like she was gaslighting me the entire time. I'm currently in my room now just bawling my eyes out. I've never been called embarrassed in my life before, let alone by my own sister. Am I overreacting? What should I do moving forward with her? Too long didn't read. Conservative Muslim sister is embarrassed that I don't cover up. Are you embarrassed by your clothes? If not, then what does it matter if she thinks they're embarrassing? This is something that you simply disagree on and will forever until your values change, so it's not worth bad feelings in my opinion. Yeah, she's a conservative Muslim in your own words. Not sure what else you expected. That's her value system. She's not going to be like Yas Queen, work that crop top! Exclamation mark. Just ignore her and dress however you like. Agree, and to be honest, the way I read this, it seems like Hop actually asked for this information and just didn't like the answer she got. The sister is also 13 years older. It's not only the conservative Muslim aspect at play here. The two are from different generations and are at entirely different places in their lives. No offense, but you're 23. By all means wear the clothes. If you're going to wear it, own it. Your sister spoke to you that way because you have different values and that was her way of showing concern. Just because she is concerned doesn't mean you need to be upset by it. You already do not fret over the same issues. This is another difference in opinion. You are slightly overreacting, not in the sense with your sister but to the situation. Your sister is who she is and is proud of herself. You need to be you and be proud of you. Elder sisters are very intimidating. Mine is 10 years older. It was only last year I was able to stand up for myself and take a stand. While we have our differences, we love each other a ton to this date. If you want to be happy in your skin, you'll have to remember to stand up for yourself. It's the only way. If you're unwilling to do that, be prepared to lead a double life of always hiding stuff from your sister, which can be exhausting. I mean, you know that the two of you have different definitions of modesty, so is it surprising that she feels this way? If she made comments about the clothes other women wear, is it shocking that she would make them about you? Don't get me wrong, I think your sister is completely in the wrong for telling you she's embarrassed of you. Even if she feels that way, it's inappropriate for her to say anything like that. My 24M girlfriend, 20F, casually brought up a throuple while I already suspected she might have cheated on me. A series of coincidences led me to believe my girlfriend, who I've been in an otherwise loving relationship with for the past year and a half, was cheating on me with a co-worker of hers. This was tormenting all of September, and while we've talked about it since then, something's still weighing on me. We were cuddling one morning on a day we both had off from work, and completely unprompted she said I kinda wanna be in a throuple. I've never been comfortable with the idea, and she knows I always wanted to remain strictly monogamous, so when she mentioned that I didn't know how to respond. It's been a few weeks since then, but the fact she was aware that I'm not on board with the idea and chose to say it anyway still makes me uneasy, not to mention it was coming at a time when I was already convinced she was seeing someone behind my back. I had a major surgery in early August and our sex life was affected since I can't do anything too strenuous, so my first thought was that she wanted to try it just because I hadn't been able to satisfy her physical needs for a couple weeks. I'd been feeling guilty and inadequate for how much my mobility was limited, so when she brought this up it felt to me like she was trying to gauge my reaction or seek permission to be with someone else. Should I be upset that she knew I wanted a monogamous relationship and she still went ahead saying that? Is she trying to coerce me into being okay with the idea? If I'm not overreacting here, I know I'd probably need to have a conversation with her about it, but how should I approach the subject if I do? Too long didn't read, thought my girlfriend was cheating, and around the same time she casually mentioned wanting to be in a throuple, despite me wanting both of us to stay exclusive. Is it wrong to be uncomfortable about the fact she asked? My experience has been the moment someone seriously asks about fucking someone else, especially knowing full well that's not something you're into, the relationship is over. Having been down this road before, in your shoes I would be working up an exit strategy. Ask if she has anyone in mind. If it's the co-worker, your relationship might be dead. If it's not, might as well talk a little bit more about what she likes about the idea. I had a major surgery in early August and our sex life was affected, and I hadn't been able to satisfy her physical needs for a couple weeks. If she can't put her physical needs on hold like an adult, then I would drop her now. I can't even imagine seeking anyone else, thinking about someone else, etc. while my partner was feeling down, ill, or whatever, let alone recovering from a major medical procedure. I don't know her, but all I see when I read your post is selfish B. I would be upset. It's not a matter of whether you should be or not, the fact is you are. And not for no reason. You have two. One is the fact you made it clear you prefer monogamy, the other is you had surgery that put you out of action for only 2 weeks, leaving you feeling vulnerable. It's not very supportive of her at this time to ask such a thing. It is thoughtless. However, without knowing her, this may not have been deliberate. She is quite young. I think you can approach it by letting her know how it made you feel, and you were concerned she was asking permission as you have put in your post, and reiterate your preference for monogamy. The truth, but in a discussion, not an argument. Next time she asks you, say something like with your co-worker. See her reaction. If you feel like she's cheating and you have evidence, you shouldn't be afraid to speak your mind. If your partner is making you think, off course with evidence and signals being sent, that she's cheating on you, she failed as a partner. Also, if I may ask, what did she do to make you think that she's cheating? About the throuple, no one asks for an open relationship or throuple without having someone in mind. So I think it's fair to be upset, and this should have increased your reasoning on her cheating. Confront her and update us on what you decide to do. Internet hug. One thing, I accidentally came across a message he sent her about how he can't live without her, that prompted me to look closer, and I found some more incriminating stuff that she says was all a joke, but one of the messages was we can run away together whenever you're ready, so I'm not really sure about that. Someone accused my girlfriend of sleeping with her ex back in September, and when I showed her the message, she immediately started acting more secretive, going out of her way to hide her screen while she was messaging and changing her lock screen pattern, for example. I don't know who she was thinking of specifically, but at the time it was taking everything I had to not have a panic attack in front of her. This isn't the first relationship I've been in where the other person suggested going poly, but I will talk to her about it as soon as I have a chance. Should I, 32F, tell the girl that I'm dating, 34F, about my lack of experience? So I've known that I'm bisexual for years and have come out to my family and friends before now, but I've never actually managed to get far enough with women to get to the dirty. I've finally met a girl that I think is awesome. We talk all day every day and have now had a number of fantastic dates. I often go to bed thinking about her, and the first thing I want to do when I wake up is to message her. We're starting to get to the point where things are likely to start getting a bit more active. But I'm pretty nervous about my complete lack of experience. To date, she knows that I'm bi but mostly been with men and tend to strike out with women. But I haven't told her that I don't have any experience at all other than kissing women. I'm scared that if I tell her it will put her off or she won't believe that I'm desperate to touch her, which I am. I'm also scared that if I don't tell her, she'll just think I'm awful in bed and my nerves may get to me more. Do you think I should tell her now before we get to that stage? If so, how should I bring it up and what would be the right way to phrase it so I don't put her off? Also, if anyone has any advice for a newly active bi in any way, I'm very open to it. Thanks. Too long didn't read. I have no experience with women but I'm getting to point where something is likely to happen. Should I be honest about my lack of experience? Absolutely. It's understandable and not weird. Just tell her as you've told Reddit. Except don't call it the dirty. You are a 32-year-old. Tell her you're both mature enough. Over drinks, simply say, I have a confession to make. I am very attracted to you. I am so happy when we are together. I believe, and very much hope you do as well, that we are getting along wonderfully. I'm excited to be with you. I am looking forward to having a physical relationship with you, and hope you are, too. The only reservation I have is my complete lack of experience being with a woman. But I want you to teach me. Thank you. That was really helpful. I'll see how it goes. I am in a somewhat similar situation. I'm 34 and have been somewhat openly bisexual since I was 14. I have not touched a woman since I was roughly 17-ish. Since then I've dated men exclusively. I've been with a few women when I was a teen but I had zero idea what I was doing and neither did they. It was more experimental stuff, I guess. Over the past few years I've really wanted to try dating women but the physicality of it scares me off. Most bi or lesbian women at my age are very experienced, and I have an awful fear of being looked down on or being embarrassed or not doing something right. So I never put my foot in the ring. Lol. Honesty is the best policy. I'm bi, and I just had my first experiences with women this summer. I basically told them that I had never actually been with women and that I knew I was bi, and wasn't just experimenting. They were totally cool with it and it made the experiences a lot better. It's totally okay to experiment if you aren't sure, so long as the other party involved knows this and isn't being misled. Peas. If you'd like some resources for places where you can talk about this stuff with women in your place, I can recommend a few great subs that's really helped me out. I mean, maybe downvoted for lack of transparency, but you could also go with I don't have much experience with women. As a queer woman in my late 20s, this is subjective but I wouldn't want the pressure of being someone's first and it would make me question if this person wanted an experiment or relationship. Much as still being transparent without saying I've never slept with a woman. There's a lot of stigma in the queer community about women who want a one-time experience or to be taught how to be with a woman, which ends up being a waste of time if you're a queer woman looking for a relationship.